We've all heard of Japan. It's a place rich with gorgeous architecture, cool history, traditional values that somehow stayed alive, and global cultural significance. We f***ed them up pretty good, they started doing pretty bad, now I watch cartoon girls make out once every 3 days. But what if I told you that Japan actually comes in normal? Much like how there's Coward USA and Normal USA and New Game Plus, Japan actually has an alternate biome themselves, Korea. Now, how does this tie into my title? Well, let's first talk about where anime comes from. A large majority of the anime that you watch comes from manga, alright, Japanese comics. So think Demon Slayer, Naruto, etc. There's also some that come from light novels such as No Game No Life, blah blah blah, and there's even some that come from porn games. I think I'm gonna have to censor the word porn, that's pretty stupid. But yeah, Fate was actually a porn game at first, which I think is pretty sick. Nekopara actually has similar origins.
Well, you just shit on my favorite anime, Nekopara, so...
I'm lost again, and now I don't have a vehicle.
But the one thing that's uniform across all these mediums is that the source material is Japanese. Now, what if I told you that the Koreans make manga, mostly worse but sometimes just as good, all in color, all the time? There's a whole other world that people who only watch anime would have no access to, and that's in Webtoons. Webtoons is a site that pretty much allows anyone who can draw to upload their stories and make their own manga. Now, the site was published and popularized by the Koreans, but there's plenty of American works on the site as well. It's pretty much like the YouTube of comics, and it's pretty damn huge. I'm just gonna parrot Wikipedia for a little bit. Webtoons garners over 100 billion views annually, it averages 10 million users daily, and 42% of creators are female. Pretty crazy. But what's crazier is they never get anime adaptations. I don't really know or care enough to figure out why, but despite Webtoons being super popular, the only Webtoon I can find to get an anime was Noblesse. And no offense, Noblesse is like super high-key gay, right? Like, I don't care. I'm just not into it. If I were gay, I would watch JoJo like you. But here's where the important part comes in. Crunchyroll dropped a trailer for some anime showing not one, but 2 of the most popular Webtoons ever. God of High School and Tower of God, the focus of this video. That's huge. That means hundreds of stories that have been growing and gaining a following in secret all have a possibility of being turned into anime. Imagine the fresh takes and cultural differences that would spice up our enjoyment of anime. This vid isn't really much of a review, but I'll talk about the show for a little bit. Tower of God has been at the top of the world since I was in middle school. I was going through some comments on Crunchyroll and people were talking about Tower of God, so I went on Google and thought, ew, why does it look like that? But the thing that you'll gradually learn about middle school scam is, that guy was fucking stupid. I cut my pubes with a knife, I thought I would make it as a gaming YouTuber, I thought that friendships forged over the course of 4 years would actually mean something. That guy was an idiot. With my wiser, post-nut mindset, I revisited Tower of God and, you know what? Tower of God kind of slaps. So what's it all about? Tower of God takes place in a supernatural tower. It's said that whoever makes it to the top of the tower will gain unlimited fame, riches, and I think they get a wish granted or something, but everyone's motives differ. Most people, like our main character Bam, live outside the tower, but a select few of those are chosen to begin climbing, and an even smaller number are people who defy the laws of the tower and enter without being chosen, like Bam, who's climbing to bring back a girl he's really into. Now, this anime is a shonen, so expect constant fights once the story really gets going, but a really cool spicy aspect of the action is the magic system and the games. Every level of the tower requires participants to take a special test in order to advance to the next level. Fun fact, if I may humble brag, I myself was tested a lot as a kid and I actually found out that I'm the world record holder in chromosomes.
That wasn't even funny, I'm sorry guys.
These tests are usually divided into teams that compete in these really creative and intricate games that are packed with plot twists and hype moments. Now, it was a joy to read in the manga, but I'm sure the competitive aspect would be way cooler to watch on your TV and have you and the homies rooting for certain characters. Speaking of characters, the cast is real colorful and full of lovable dudes that really grow on you over the course of the story, like Fake Kurapika, who's just a total bro, or Crocodile Man, who's also a total bro. Again, I don't really want to cover too much and analyze why the story is so sick. That's a video I'm saving for when I'm running low on money like every other month. But there's a reason why Tower of God is one of the most beloved and popular webtoons of all time. Now, on the production side of things, art and music. Based on the trailer, it really does look like a webtoon animated, and I think the style is super sick and original. It's got this rough around the edges pencil kind of look that I dig, and the colors look really nice. But what stuck out to me even more was when I noticed that the music man was none other than Kevin Pinkin, who did the music for Made in Abyss. If you haven't watched Made in Abyss, the music is just ambient and vibey, and the soundtrack is in my best of all time list. Kevin Pinkin Kevin Pinkin is kinda goated. I normally don't care enough to keep track of who's involved in anime. So what did we learn? Well, your favorite webtoons could possibly be receiving an anime soon to come. It did start with the 2 most popular webtoons, but assuming these 2 end up really successful, I don't think it's super optimistic to believe that the influence might trickle down to lesser known webtoons once this sort of thing is brought to the mainstream, which could eventually lead to anime being less of a Japanese thing and eventually lead to less weebs and maybe more Koreaboos, which God knows we need more of those. But it would be cool to see anime be diversified and branch out to other cultures. I think that's pretty sick. We also learned that God of High School is getting an anime. That's another one people don't shut up about, alongside Tower of God, duh. Cool thing is, Tower of God is releasing in April. And finally, I'm not really sure what this means, but I'm really strong, and in theory, I think it makes me, see you next week. I'm gonna do a couple of informative videos like my worth watching series and maybe a manga video. Then I'm thinking about making a few videos I actually like making. See ya.